Welcome to Seize the Mains by Malhotra's IS Academy. I'm Surbhi Sardana and I'm taking this daily answer writing initiative for UPSC and State Civil Services mains from Monday to Friday at 9 pm. If you are new to this initiative, you can download the schedule, timetable till May 3rd from the link in the description below. Also, the entire compilation of season 1, questions 1 to 28 that were discussed in lectures, in the subsequent lectures. The entire compilation is also there. It can be downloaded from the link in the description below. Moving on, it's day 56 of Seize the Mains and the topic for today is from GS paper 4, ethics case study. As we always say, ethics case study are the most interesting parts of UPSC preparation. They are the most easiest parts to deal with if you know how to approach a case study. So, we'll read along this case study. See, the case study is very long. We cannot read it in full here, but I can give you a summary just by looking at the things in yellow. You're posted as the district development officer in a particular district. What happens is that there the community is divided into elders and younger generation. The elders think that sending girls to school will decrease the employment opportunities for the boys, and due to the less number of employment opportunities in that area, elders are apprehensive of giving education to girls, while the younger generation want the girls to be sent to schools. So, the entire village is divided on such lines, the entire district is divided on such lines, and recently what happened was that few girls were molested when they were coming back from school. So, this created a very huge law and order problem, and then the panchayat called a meeting. They all sat together and decided that girls will not be sent to school, and if any family will send their daughters to school, those families will be boycotted. So, this is the situation, and you are asked that as the district development officer, how will you change the mindset of the elders of the village, and how will you ensure the safety of these girls, and what are the measures that you will take so that these girls can be educated. We'll read the short summary. Just read the things in yellow. The first thing is district development officer of a district. You are the one, and the issue is of sending of girls to school. The next one is the elders of the village and safe environment of the household. They think that girls should be staying in the safe environment of the household, and they are of the view that the girls should be quickly married off with minimum education. The girls are also competing for jobs after education, which have traditionally remained in boys exclusive domain, adding to unemployment amongst male population. The younger generation feels that in the present era, girls should have equal opportunities for education and employment and other means of livelihood. The entire locality is divided between the elders and the younger lot, and further divided between sexes in both generations, men and women. So, one day, as I told you, that there was a molestation incident that took place in that area, and it led to a law and order problem. So, the panchayat, the elders, after heated discussion, have taken a joint decision not to allow girls to go to school and to socially boycott all such families which do not follow their dictate. You know, social boycott is a very prevalent thing in rural India or small parts of India, because social respect in the society or community is something that Indians value a lot. So, the first thing to make people say yes to what you want, to have that agreeable statement or action from that side, is to socially boycott them. That is how society is driving, or society is nudging most of the decisions or the future of the next generation in our society. So, that is something to look at, and whenever you are answering case studies, always keep the social boycott or social perspective in mind. Always keep that in mind, and if that is a question there, just give a solution to that. So, we don't have to identify the problems here. The problem is the difference of ideology between elders and the younger generation, the right to education of girls, and the their rights and their right to have a livelihood of their own when they grow up. So, that is about it. What steps would you take to ensure girls' safety without disrupting their education? So, first thing is the very easy part here. You'll just have to address the safety part of question. How will you address safety? The next one is, how would you manage and mold patriarchal attitude of the village elders to ensure harmony in the intergenerational relations? in real life situations, this is not, the second question is not very easy to deal with. Even in interview, if you are asked such a question, the second part, you can be cross questioned on the solutions that you give. But when it comes to writing in ethics papers, the field is wide open. You can write whatever you want, whatever you think is right, you should put that on the paper. So this second part will be addressing in the multi-pronged way in the time span that has to be given to every solution. We'll see this further. Answer in 250 words. Any case study that you start answering will easily take around 250 words and it will fetch you 15 marks. If you're writing answers, you can send them to us in the next 24 hours. The checking part from our side has been a bit slow. We've seen that in the comments also. Some of you have replied. But the main purpose of this initiative is to teach you answer writing, to help you maintain that continuity, and we are responding with a regular feedback to all your answers. So don't worry about that. Moving back here. First of all, in every case study, you should start with an introduction. For example, here in this case study, the issue was about girls' right to education. So, and the situation that is prevalent in that area, that people do not want girls to be educated. They think that it is a futile exercise to educate girls. They should be married off. So, you can talk about this situation generally in the context of India. In body paragraph 1, we'll write about all the stakeholders involved, ethical issues involved. So, even if stakeholders are not asked in the question, ethical issues are not asked in the question, it is recommended that you should always tell what are the stakeholders and ethical issues involved. This also makes easier for you to answer this question. In the body paragraph 2, you will have to talk about the solutions or steps to be taken. Why? Because these two are the questions. These two questions are asking you the solutions. So, in the body paragraph 2, we will address them one by one. Then we will conclude by giving a way forward, or what are the commitments of India with respect to ending gender discrimination. So, starting with the introduction, let's talk about the patriarchal attitude of Indian society and how gender discrimination is imbibed in the mindset of few people. The patriarchal attitude of our society coupled with lack of awareness leads to gender discrimination. This not only keeps girls from living up to their full potential, but it also leaves them vulnerable to severe physical and emotional abuse. So, indirectly, we are just paraphrasing what we saw in case study. We are just writing it down in an indirect way, that what is the reason where it's coming from and what is it leading to. A similar situation has been depicted in the above case study. So, very generally, we have just paraphrased the entire case study. You can add your points also here, and you should add your points that what you think in case of gender discrimination in India or girls not being sent to school, which is their constitutional right. What are the stakeholders involved? You can write as many stakeholders as are involved, but what we see in our answers is that students tend to write whosoever has been talked about in the case study. So, try to group similar stakeholders together. For example, the elders in the village and the Gram Panchayat, they are the same people in a way. You cannot add them as different stakeholders. So, elders of the village including members of the Panchayat, this is taken as second point. The first one is obviously school going girls, they are the stakeholders, elders of the village, and the third one is young members of the village or parents of the girls who want their girls to go to school. You can try your own innovation, your own creativity, and add like 4 to 5 stakeholders, but these are the main stakeholders here. What are the ethical issues involved? First of all, girls' right to education, that is a constitutional right. Secondly, the patriarchal attitude, which is patriarchal attitude is not a ethical issue, it is creating a problem and it is creating a resistance to girls' education. So, right to education of girls versus the resistance of those elders. The second one is safety of girls, because safety has been highlighted as an issue in the last paragraph of this case study because they were molested. So, safety of girls versus the law and order of the village. If we even check the safety of girls, it is highly probable that the elders will protest and the law and order of the village will suffer. So, these two are the ethical issues. Read them for yourself. You can download the PDF of this presentation from the link given in the description below, and read the entire case study and the solution for yourself after this. Body paragraph 2, this is the first question that we were directly asked in the case study, that what we will do to ensure safety for girls. So the first thing is, When do you have to ensure safety? When they are going to school, when they are inside school, and when they are coming back from school, or sometime when they are at home, because there was a problem that social boycott of these families might take place, and it is probable that girls, when they are staying back at home after attending school, they might be attacked at that time. So 4 things have to be, 4 places safety has to be ensured. 1, going to school, staying at school, coming back, and 4th is at home. So you can give these solutions based on like the place or who can be the best ensurer of safety at which place. So when they are going to school, you can ensure public transport for them, and you can ensure that police escorts them, the local police escorts them. For that you will have to make the police aware. When they are in school, some escorts from police can stay back, and teachers have to ensure that no such activity takes place, especially the male teachers. They also have to be made aware of that, and female teachers have to be in regular contact with those girls. They have to be interacting about any incident or any fearful thing that anybody tries to say to them. The third one, while coming back from school, again public transport and escort by police. These families can be, can be ensured safety by the help of community policing. The young members of these families can come together and ensure safety for each other by community policing, so that social boycott also doesn't affect them, and if somebody tries to attack them, they are already present in group, and police from your side is already there, that is serving their needs. So inside the school authorities should make the provisions. The teachers should be more vigilant. The second one is the local committees can be formed which can look after girls' safety and report to the administration. These local committees can help ensure safety at homes also. Police authorities should be sensitized. Apart from this, community transport system, this is very important. Can be initiative having police escort facility for the initial days till the issue gets resolved. And fifth one is ensuring, this is not a safety measure, fifth one is not a safety measure, but if you ensure strict punishment for the molesters of previous incident, if you ensure that they are adequately punished and justice is delivered, then future incidents will be demotivated. Otherwise, if they are not punished, people will be motivated that yes, we can do anything, or we can turn any situation in our favor by carrying out such activities. So that has to be kept in mind, and that has to be added as a start point here. Don't add that as a fifth point, but add it as a start point at the end of these at the end of this body paragraph 2, or towards the end of all the solutions that you have given. The next one is, how will you address the patriarchal attitude of the village elders? First of all, it cannot be addressed very easily. You'll have to give solutions for short term, medium term, long term, or when somebody is so old in age, you cannot just nudge them very easily. So in an interview, they might get you on this, but when you're writing an ethics answer, just write what is correct from your point of view, making them aware of how girls can decrease the burden of men or their partners when they grow up, or their families, or how they can nurture their children better if they are educated. Thirdly, you can bring inspirational women, women whose lives have seen a transformational change due to the education they got, entrepreneurs, teachers, IS officers of nearby areas. They can serve as inspiration for these elders, so that they get to see the outside world also. They get to see that yes, education is very important for women, and such things have happened in villages of Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, and areas like that, where elders of the village have been motivated by seeing women in leadership positions, and then they have made sure that their daughters also get to that level. Especially they've promoted their their daughters in sports, education, things like that. So this nudging in village areas is very helpful. Bringing inspirational characters into the picture, do that and add them as an example. The next one is, get the civil society in. In all your ethics answers, NGOs can be of a very good help. NGOs are, NGOs are the civil society. They work for the benefit of society. So and they work in tandem with the government. Whatever is your motive is the motive of one or the other NGO also. So bring them for help. Let them do the work and let them spread that education and awareness in that place. So the patriarchal attitude of the village elders towards girls needs a multi-pronged approach to be solved. What is a multi-pronged approach? That is a multi-dimensional approach, means many steps have to be taken. They need to be made aware of the importance of education and how education enriches the family and society as a whole. And one thing that we missed out here is the constitutional provisions. Right to education is a constitutional right under Article 21A of the Constitution. Also, it is a fundamental duty of all the guardians and parents to ensure proper educational opportunities for their children. So first of all, they are infringing on the fundamental rights of these children, of these girls. Secondly, they are acting against their fundamental duty. So make them aware of that and mention the Article 21A here and 51A, fundamental duties. So mention that part here, use all your GS knowledge in your ethics paper, and that is what will get you more marks there. They need to be told how grown-up educated girls can play an important role in the development of their country. They can share the burden of men in the different walks of life. Education empowers a grown-up girl to become economically independent. They will be able to stand up for their rights. And you know, these episodes of molestation will go down when girls are educated and they are independent. Rather than, you know, this is, you have to tell them that this is, that illiteracy leads to molestation in a way, especially in such areas where we have conservative systems. So you need to tell them that education is not a reason of girls being molested. So you'll have to make them aware of that. The elders should be informed that when women gain employment, it leads to the development of overall society. The economic and personal empowerment that education provides allows them to make healthier choices for themselves and their families. So talk about health choices also here. And talk about how it benefits the next generation, how an educated woman benefits the next generation, because that way it will be easier for them to understand when you talk about health and you talk about children. So it helps them in reducing poverty, delay of marriage, and increase in self-confidence and decision making power, which is helpful for societal development. So the elders are actually trying to protect the society or the societal values. So just you'll have to gain their confidence and tell them that you are also trying to do that, but in a different way, and your way is more efficient, and it is the way that time demands. Some women, doctors, officers, teachers, entrepreneurs, etc., who have created a life of their own through education can be brought to interact with the villagers and motivate them to send their daughters to school. And the last one is involvement of local NGOs. That can be sought. Now talking about conclusion, there was an issue of unemployment also raised. How it was raised that they decrease the employment opportunities for men in their area. So you have to talk about that first of all, that awareness needs to be generated that girls are not eating up jobs of boys of their village. Secondly, since they are worried about unemployment issue, you need to create more employment opportunities which are local in nature in the area around yourself itself. So that has to be a solution that has to come from your side. This will not be asked by the examiner that what will you be able to do to handle this unemployment issue. So be innovative there, give that solution. And there is this Sustainable Development Goal 5, which talks about gender equality, fighting against gender discrimination, and that is one of the goals that India has to achieve by 2030, that we have to ensure gender equality in our country. So you can conclude by saying that such steps will go a long way towards achieving Sustainable Development Goal 5. As far as the issue of girls competing with boys for jobs after education is concerned, unemployment is a widespread issue in the nation, and girls competing for the job are not appropriate reason for it. Since the issue has come to light, local employment opportunities need to be generated. So this is the answer for the day. Send your answers to us in the next 24 hours. Keep working hard, subscribe to our channel, note this email ID, this is where you send your answers. Thanks for having some patience with us, and we'll be shortly responding back to you with all the feedback that we have for your answers. Keep your prelims and mains preparation balanced. All the best to you.